Well, these last two videos were a little bit out of the ordinary. We did one on the 0881, and I want to thank all of you who called in on that and let me and corrected me on a few things. And I also did one on planning your rapid entry. But now it's time to get back to our roots. It's time to get back to picking. And I've chosen a master, and this is a master model 532. It looks like it has a removable core, but it is not. In order to remove that core, you have to basically destroy the lock, I think. You have to take this pin out, and then I suppose you could remove that core. Anyway, it's about 50 millimeters. It's solid steel, pretty solid construction. There's the key for it. Let me lock it up. There's what your bitting looks like. Looks like a 5-pinner. I have picked this a couple of times before, and I do remember it's fairly delicate touch, a lot like American locks, which makes me kind of believe that, well, there could be something else in there. I don't know. Okay, pick all the way to the back. Oops, sorry. There we go. And I'm just going to move down the stack, and I'm going to pick it. Let's do that again. You saw it was locked, and I'm positive it was locked, but I think I just hit something in the right order. Oops. Make sure we are locked. We are locked here. Okay, let's go. Make sure we're in place. All right, pick to the back. Let's move forward in the stack. This one might take the appropriate amount of time. Alright, I think I dropped everything. I'm going to start it again. Okay, there we go again. We're just going to have to 2 picks in about a minute and a half. It begs you to ask what's inside of this cylinder. It really does. Unfortunately, as you can see, they are not removable, but I really wish we could look inside of here. Anyway, made quick work of that one. I might see later if I can open this thing up and we can do an autopsy on it. Anyway, thanks for a little bit of your time anyway. Stay safe and everybody stay legal. Alright fellas, you know I couldn't stand it. I had to know what was inside of this master lock, and it was quite an ordeal. Let me tell you, this stuff is made out of very hard steel. I tried first milling it. I ended up breaking 2 carbide bits. Finally I just took the grinder and I ground down as far as I could, as far as I could, and then slammed it onto the vise. This pin began to protrude from that hole just a little bit. I was able to grab it with a pair of pliers, and as soon as I did, the core came out. Core was a little bit different story. It of course was intact, but the problem with the core is there was no way to get it apart. If you notice, this little tail piece has broken off, and that's my fault, because in the process of trying to figure it out, I thought there were 6 pins. The 6th pin is actually a retainer pin that holds the entire core in, and if you recall, we could only rotate this thing part way. And that's because that copper pin in the back of or that brass pin is the limiter, so you can't completely rotate it. So if you're going to take this apart, drill that out before you try to take the tailpiece off. I hit it with a hammer. You know I have violent tendencies, and as soon as I hit it with a hammer, the force broke off this little piece, and the thing basically disassembled on the bench. What do we have? Well, let's take a look. It's a little surprising because you know, we opened that thing in like 2 times in about a minute, so I expected something pretty easy. On the bottom were 5 normal driver pins, nothing spectacular, but on the top we have 4 spools and one regular, which, to have opened it that quickly without a bunch, you know, at least a few fault sets. We had no fault sets, as you recall. Basically, I raked it clean and I began picking, and twice it popped open. So I can't explain that. I don't know why that happened. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with the lock. I just think it was a case of getting really lucky. But at least now we know the Master 532 does have security pins in it, and it's not all normal pins. So there you go. Thanks for your time.